So today we will go by Oracle pricing. In this module, what we are going to understand the Oracle pricing, which is one of the most important components of Oracle Fusion order management. Okay, so let's start. So whenever a
Yeah,
customer, yeah, Edwin. So can I start?
yes.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation. So, whenever a customer creates a sales order, so one of the first activities performed by the Oracle is pricing. So, before the order moves for the fulfillment, Oracle must determine the correct selling price for the each and every order that is in line. And the purpose of Oracle pricing is not simply to assign a price, it is designed to ensure that the price remains consistent across the entire organization while following the company's business policies. Oracle pricing also allows the organization to define the complex pricing structures based on the customer type, product category, sales channel, region, promotional offers, and contractual agreements, and many more other business attributes. So instead of manually entering the prices for each and every customer, Oracle automatically calculates the final selling price using the predefined pricing configurations. And the pricing engine evaluates the multiple pricing objects and business rules before returning the final amount to the order management. So let's understand each component involved in the order pricing. So here the first one is our pricing segment. So pricing segment is nothing but it is used to classify the customers into different business groups based on the common characteristics, such as organizations generally do not treat each and every customer equally. Different customers receive different pricing depending on their relationship with the business. For example, customers may be categorized as retail customers, wholesale customers, government customers, corporate customers, or premium customers. So apart from the customer type, segmentation can also be based on several business attributes such as annual revenue, customer size, geographical region, customer rating, industry, or any custom attribute defined by the organization. So once the customers are assigned to a pricing segment, Oracle knows what pricing policies should apply to them. And this provides the flexibility to maintain the different pricing strategies for different categories of the customers without creating the separate pricing configurations for each individual customer. Next one is our pricing strategy. That this component is mostly act as the central container for all the pricing configurations. Instead of assigning multiple pricing objects individually, Oracle group them into a single pricing strategy. A pricing strategy typically contains something like that: price list, discount list, cost list, or pricing rules, pricing algorithms. And when a sales order is created, Oracle identifies the applicable pricing strategy and uses it during the price calculation. And this approach makes the pricing administrator much more simpler, because the administrators only maintain one strategy instead of configuring the multiple pricing components separately. And different pricing strategies may exist for different business units, different customer segments, or different sales channels. Next one is our pricing strategy assignment. That is, once the pricing strategies are created, Oracle must determine which strategy should be applied to a particular order. This is achieved through the pricing strategy assignments. Pricing strategy assignment mapped three important business parameters, something like that: pricing segment, sales channel, and transaction type. And the combination of these parameters define which pricing strategy Oracle should invoke during the order processing. For example, the organization may define separate strategies for different sales, online sales, distributor sales, or partner sales. Even if the same customer purchases the same product, Oracle may calculate a different price depending on the sales channel or transaction type. And this mechanism provide more flexibility while maintaining the centralized pricing control. Next one is our list and pricing rules. And in this component, it stores the standard selling price of the product, in which for every item sold by the organization, Oracle maintain its base selling price into the price list. However, the business rarely sells the products at only one fixed price. It is something like that additional pricing adjustments may include in that. Additional pricing adjustments is something like that. We can say discounts is there, surcharges is there, freight charges or installation charges, service charges, and many more, like promotional offers also incurs in that, or volume discounts incur in that. So Oracle pricing allows all these adjustments to be configured through the pricing rules, and the pricing engine can also be calculate the prices based on the particularly product attributes, customer attribute, ordered quantity, contract agreements, or promotional campaigns. So multiple charges may be applied to the same sales order line. For example, something like that, a customer purchasing a machine, um, he may pay something product price, the installation charge, the warranty charge, the delivery charge, and Oracle combines all the applicable charges and calculate the final net selling price automatically. Next one is our runtime pricing algorithm. This is the heart of Oracle pricing. In the runtime pricing algorithm, whenever a sales order is entered, Oracle executes the pricing algorithm automatically. The algorithm evaluates all the applicable pricing configurations in a predefined sequence. It identifies the applicable price list, the customer discounts, the promotional offers, freight charges, additional service charges, tax calculation, and final net price. And the pricing calculation happens in the real time while the sales order is being created. Users are not required to manually calculate any pricing rules. This ensures the accuracy, the consistency, and compliance with the organizational pricing policies. Next one is our pricing guideline and security. The final component is our pricing guidelines and security. Like every organization wants to control how much discount employees can offer to our customers. So Oracle provides the pricing guidelines to enforce these business controls. Something like that. The sales executive may be allowed to provide the discount up to 5% only. The sales managers may approve discount up to 15%, and the regional managers may approve a discount up to 25%. And if a user attempts to exceed the permitted discount limit, Oracle prevents the transaction or routes it for the approval depending on the configured business rules. And these controls protect the organizational profitability while ensuring the pricing consistency across all the sales channels. So this is the Oracle pricing, in which that is mostly responsible for calculating the correct selling price for each and every sales order made by calculating by this pricing segments, pricing strategies, or strategy assignments. And apart from that, the price list also include, pricing rules also include, and runtime pricing algorithm and the pricing guidelines. So together these components ensure that the pricing is accurate, consistent, secure, and aligned with the particularly organization's business objectives. And that is our change order processing. So in this module, we will understand like what is the change order processing. This something like that in the real business environment. Once a sales order is created, it is very common for the customers to request the changes before the order is completed fully fulfilled. So in that case, a customer may decide to increase or decrease the quantity, change the shipping address, add a new product, remove an existing product, or even cancel the order entirely. So instead of creating a brand new sales order, Oracle allows authorized users to modify the existing users through the change of order processing. However, the Oracle does not allow every change at every stage. Before accepting any modification, the application verifies whether the requested change is allowed according to the predefined business rules, that is known as processing constraints. And this ensures that the order is integrity is highly maintained and no unauthorized changes are made during the fulfillment. So we will go through the complete life cycle of a change order. So the first point is our receive change order. This is the first step in which it is nothing but it can originate from different sources. The most common source is something like that order management area, work area, where a customer service representative or order administrator modifies the order. Apart from manual updates, changes may also come from the external source system, e-commerce applications, CRM applications, or integration interfaces or fulfillment systems. And regardless of the source, Oracle captures the requested modification and start the validation process. And at this stage, Oracle only receives the request. It has not yet decided what the change is, whether the change is valid or not. So our next step is something like that, the evaluate header constants, in which once the request is received, Oracle evaluates the order header. The order header contains Oracle order information such as the customer, the order number, the order type, the business unit, currency, or overall order status. Oracle checks whether any header processing constraints prevents the requested modification or not. For example, like that, if the order has been already completed, invoiced, or closed, so Oracle may completely block the further updates. Similarly, if the organization can configure the rules specifying which user or rules are allowed to modify the order headers, and if a violation is found, order immediately stops further processing, and if no restrictions exist, the process moves to the next step. And our next step is something like that, evaluate the line constant, in which after validating the order header, or Oracle evaluates each individual fulfillment line. Something like that, every line in the sales order may be at at different stage of fulfillment. For example, one line may be awaiting the scheduling, another line may be already be reserved, another may be has been shipped, or another may have received the already received be already received the invoices. So because of this, Oracle validates every fulfillment line independently. So during this step, what Oracle checks? Oracle checks which field is being modified, whether that field can be updated, which user is requesting the change, whether the fulfillment process has processed or beyond the allowed stage or not. And for example, something like that, changing the ordered quantity before the reservation may be permitted, or changing the quantity after shipment has been confirmed is generally not allowed. Similarly, deleting an order line after invoicing is normally prohibited because it would create the inconsistencies in the inventory and financial records. And these validations are controlled through the processing constants, which define who can make the changes, what can be changed, and what when changes are, and like which type of changes are allowed there. And next up is our something like that, accept and reorchestrate. So if all the validations are successful, Oracle accepts the requested change. Now, however, simply updating the sales order is not that much sufficient, so the fulfillment process may already be in progress. Therefore, Oracle automatically reorchestrate the fulfillment workflow. Something like that. This means Oracle reviews the entire orchestration process and determines which fulfillment task needs to be adjusted. For example, if a quantity increase, Oracle may need to reserve the additional inventory, recalculate the pricing, perform the ATP and selling, and schedule it again, generate the additional shipping instructions. And if the shipping address changes, Oracle may need to select a different warehouse, calculate new freight charges, update shipping documentation, recalculate delivery dates, and Oracle performs these adjustments automatically without requiring users to manually restart the fulfillment process. And this intelligent recalculation is one of the key strengths of the Oracle Fusion order management. So next one is our compensation patterns. And during reorchestration, Oracle uses this compensation patterns. And what is that? That defines how Oracle should undo the previously completed fulfillment activities before applying the new change. For example, something like that, assume inventory has already been reserved. So if the customer reduces the order quantity, the Oracle must first release the unnecessary inventory reservation before creating a new reservation for the updated quantity. So instead of deleting everything manually, Oracle executes predefined compensation logic to reverse only the affected fulfillment activities, and this ensures that the data consistency throughout the fulfillment process is approved. And our next one is the rollback step, in which, along with the compensation patterns, Oracle also executes the rollback steps whenever it is necessary. Something like that, it returns the orchestration process to an earlier stage so that the Oracle can execute the remaining fulfillment activities again using the updated order information. And our step 5 is something like that, reject with message. So if Oracle determines that the requested change violates any type of configured business rules, the change request is rejected. Instead of making the partial updates, Oracle keeps the original order unchanged and returns an appropriate error of notifications. So example includes the order has already been closed, the fulfillment line has been already been shipped, the users does not have the sufficient privileges, a processing constraint blocks the requested modification, the requested field cannot be updated at the current fulfillment stage, and these messages helps the user to understand why the modification cannot be performed and maintain the integrity of the order fulfillment process. And next one is our processing constraints. The entire change order processing functionality is governed by processing constraints, in which processing constraints define like who is the authorized to modify the order, which field can be changed, at what fulfillment stage modifications are permitted, whether insert, update, or delete operations are allowed or not. By configuring these constraints, organizations can protect the critical business transactions from the unauthorized or invalid modifications. So, change order processing enables the Oracle Fusion order management to safely handle modifications to existing sales orders during the fulfillment. Every requested change passes through the header validation, line validation, processing constraints, compensation patterns, rollback logic, and reorganization before the Oracle either accepts or rejects the request. And these control approach ensures that the fulfillment, inventory, pricing, shipping, and downstream business process always remains synchronized with the latest version of the sales order. We will go for the next module, that is global order promising. So global order promising is nothing but an intelligent promising, we can say, an intelligent promising engine of Oracle Fusion. Its primary responsibility is to determine whether an order can be fulfilled from which location it should be fulfilled and on what date it can be delivered to the customer. So in today's business environment, customers expect the accurate delivery commitments. Similarly, accepting an order is not enough. The organization must ensure that the promised delivery date is realistic and achievable. So Oracle Global Order is nothing but it helps the promising the performance this validation in the real time by analyzing the inventory availability, incoming supplies, manufacturing the capacity, sourcing the routes and transportation options before confirming a promise date. So unlike basic inventory checks, GOP evaluates the complete supply chain before making commitment to the customer. Now, what is the order processing? Order promising is the process of determining the earliest possible date on which the requested quantity can be delivered to the customer. And when a customer submits a sales order, Oracle does not automatically confirm the request delivery date. Instead, the global this GOP, the Global Order Promising Engine, starts evaluating the multiple business parameters to determine whether the requested date can actually be met or not. If the sufficient supply is available, Oracle confirms the requested delivery date. If the supply is insufficient, Oracle calculates the next possible delivery date based on the available inventory and future supplies. This ensures that the customer receive the realistic delivery commitments rather than the inaccurate promises. So we will hear the four principles which we may need to meet. So here our first principle is something like that: meet the requested date. So it is our the first objective, in which that helps to satisfy the customer requested delivery date whenever possible. When the sales order and enters the Oracle order management, the requested shipment on arrival date is sent to the GOP engine. The promising engine begins searching across the entire supply chain. It checks the current inventory, the inventory available in the another organization, goods in transit, it will check for the purchase orders, it will check for the manufacturing work orders and future plant supplies. And if the sufficient supply exists to the satisfy customers requested date, Oracle confirms that date. If not, Oracle automatically search for the next earliest available date, and the system always attempt to satisfy the customer demand while considering the actual supply availability. Next principle is something like that, respect the ATP time fence. So it is something like that, the ATP time fence defines how Oracle should evaluate supply during the different time period. Within the ATP time fence, Oracle relies mainly on the existing confirmed supply, such as on hand inventory, reserved inventory, goods already in transit. And because these supplies already exist, they provide a high level of certainty. Beyond the ATP time frames, Oracle begins considering the future supply sources such as planned manufacturing orders, planned purchase orders, the supplier deliveries, or the production capacity. Since these supplies are expected to become available in the future, Oracle evaluates them according to the configured ATP rules before making the delivery commitments. And the ATP time frames therefore separate the confirmed supply from planned supply, and it improves the accuracy of the delivery promises. Next one is our principle 3, which is like use the cost lowest cost source, in which Oracle does not simply select the first warehouse that contains the inventory. Instead, GOP evaluates the multiple fulfillment locations and identifies the source that provides the most efficient and cost-effective fulfillment. When performing this evaluation, Oracle considers factors such as transportation cost, warehouse priority, manufacturing cost, shipping lead time, and overall fulfillment cost. So, if a several warehouse can satisfy the requested date, Oracle selects the one that minimizes the total fulfillment cost while still meeting the customer's expectation. And this functionality helps the organization to reduce the logistics expenses and improve the operational function efficiency. And when a profitable to promise is enabled, Oracle always consider the manufacturing and resource cost before selecting the particular fulfillment source. Next one is our principle 4, that is source by location priority. Like in many organizations, the same item may exist in the multiple warehouse. So GOP therefore requires a method for deciding which warehouse should fulfill the order, and this decision is controlled through the sourcing rules. The sourcing rules defines the preferred fulfillment location and assigns a priority to um, for each and every resource. Oracle searches these locations according to the configured priority sequence. Priority may be configured based on the customer, the graphic zone, the item category, individual item, demand classes, and Oracle evaluates each location in the order until it identifies a source capable of satisfying the requested demand. So, if the highest priority warehouse cannot fulfill the order, Oracle automatically evaluates the next priority without requiring the manual intervention. This process both flexibility and automation across the complex supply chain networks. And next one is our components that are used by GOP is something like that. The first one is the ATP rules. ATP rules defines which type of supply and demand should be considered during the availability calculations. The second component is something like that, the sourcing rules, in which the sourcing rules determines the acceptable fulfillment source of each item. The third component is something like that, the assignment set, in which assignment sets connect the ATP rules and sourcing rules with the specific organization, items, or categories. Finally, the organization may also configure the allocation rules, which reserve available inventory for high priority customers or demand the classes before making the commitments to the other customers. Together, these components enable the Oracle to perform the accurate and intelligent order promising. So, what is the importance of this one? So, it improves the delivery commitment accuracy by validating the actual supply availability before confirming the customer. It optimizes the warehouse utilization by selecting the most appropriate fulfillment locations. It minimizes the transportation and fulfillment cost through intelligent source selection. It supports both the simple and complex supply chain networks involving the multiple warehouse suppliers and manufacturing facilities. And most importantly, it helps the organization to maintain the customer satisfaction by ensuring that the delivery commitments are realistic and achievable. So here we are on the module 4, that is promising execution, that is order promising. So in the previous module, what we have understood, we understood the process of GOP and how it determines the delivery commitment of for a customer order. And in this module, we will know how the know how the complete order promising flow, which explains how Oracle processes a sales order from the moment it is entered until a promise date is returned. So this flow consists of 5 major steps. Each step is executed automatically by the Oracle Fusion, and together they ensure that the every delivery commitment is accurate, reliable, and aligned with the available supply chain resources. So here our first one is sales order capture, and the process begins with that with this one, that it when a customer places a sales order, in which the order can be entered in through various channels such as Oracle Order Management Work Area, self-service customer portal, e-commerce website, CRM applications, or external integrated system. And when the order is created, Oracle captures the important information such as customer name, item number, ordered quantity, shipping organizations, requested ship date or requested delivery date, shipping address, and business unit. And at this stage, Oracle has only received the customer's request. That is, it has not been only yet confirmed whether the requested quantity or delivery date can be actually fulfilled or not. And the order is then submitted to the global order promising and then for the availability evaluation. Next one is our ATP rule applied, in which after receiving the sales order, Oracle applies the configured ATP rules. ATP stands for available to promise. The ATP rule defines the how Oracle should calculate the product availability. Instead of checking only the current inventory, Oracle first identifies which supply sources should be considered during the availability calculations. Depending on the business configuration, Oracle may evaluate on-hand inventory, inventory in transit, purchase orders, purchase requisition, work orders, manufacturing orders, and the plant supply. So different organizations follow different planning strategies. Some organizations promise the delivery only against the available inventory, while the others also consider the future manufacturing or in something like that or incoming the purchase orders. So the ATP rule always allows the Oracle to follow the organization's business policy while calculating the product availability. And without an ATP rule, the Oracle would not something would not supply sources for a valid we can say for a valid promising customer orders. And our next step is something like that, the sourcing rule and assignment set up applied, in which once the Oracle determines which supplies there can be considered, it must identify where the product should come from. And the decision is controlled by sourcing rule. Sourcing rule defines the acceptable fulfillment source of the particular item, and these source may include something like that, the manufacturing facility, the distribution warehouse, supplier, the internal transfer organizations. And if multiple locations are available, Oracle follows the priorities defined within the sourcing rule. However, Oracle cannot directly use a sourcing tool. The system first checks the configured assignment sets. An assignment set connects the sourcing rules with the specific business entities such as organizations, item categories, individual items, and based on these assignments, Oracle determines the correct sourcing configuration for the current sales order. And only after identifying the appropriate assignment sets that does Oracle know which warehouse or facilities are eligible to fulfill the order. Now, next step is coming as something like that the supply chain availability research, in which this is the most important stage of the entire promising process, in which after identifying the valid supply sources, Oracle begins searching the supply chain for the available inventory, and the search follows the priority defined by the organization sourcing rule. For every potential fulfillment, the location for the every fulfillment potential fulfillment, the Oracle evaluates the available inventory, the reserved inventory, incoming purchase orders, manufacturing capacity, plant supply, transportation lead time, ATP time frames, and fulfillment cost. In which Oracle performs these evaluations on the, we can say, on like one source at a time according to the configured priority. If the highest priority warehouse has the sufficient inventory, Oracle immediately selects the location. If the inventory is unavailable, Oracle automatically proceeds to the next source without requiring the manual intervention. And during this evaluation, Oracle also considers the transportation time and the business rules to ensure that the customer's requested delivery date can be achieved. And if no source can satisfy the requested date, Oracle searches for the earliest possible future based dates on expected supply availability. And this intelligent evaluation enables the Oracle to provide the accurate and achievable delivery commitments. And our next step is something like that, that is promise return and line schedule, in which once Oracle completes the availability search, the global order promising engine returns its final decision to the order management. And the returned information includes like selected warehouse, promised quantity, promised ship date, promised delivery date, and order management then schedules the fulfillment line using this information. From this point onwards, the fulfillment process continues with the activities such as inventory reservation, picking, packing, or shipping, and some or invoicing. Because the scheduling information is generated by the global order promising engine, the organizations can confidently commit the delivery date to the customer, and this eliminates the uncertainty and significantly improves the customer satisfaction. Next one is our the final result of the promising process. So, after completing all the five stages, Oracle provides a single, reliable delivery commitment. That is, the promise includes something like that the warehouse from which the order will be fulfilled, the quantity that can be supplied, then confirm the shipment date, the expected delivery date, and this information is available within the Oracle through the ATP through the ATP details and global availability windows, allowing the users to review how the promise was calculated and which supply sources are evaluated. And this purpose of process is ensure that each and every confirmed order is supported by the actual supply availability and follows the organization's fulfillment policies. Sourcing and ATP rules overview, that is rules configuration, in which in the previous model what we have learned, we have seen that how Oracle global order promising evaluates a sales order and return a confirmed delivery date. Now the question is something like that, where does the Oracle get all the information required to make the particular decision? And the answer is lies into two important configuration objects, that is sourcing rules and ATP rules. And this configuration tells the Oracle where the supply can come from and how the availability should be calculated. Like without this configuration, the GOP engine cannot be determine the fulfillment source or calculate the accurate promise date. So we will go the by we will go by each we will go by go each components in more detailed way, something like that. For the source rules, that defines the acceptable source of supply for an item. In the simple words, we can say that if a customer orders this product, where should the Oracle obtain it from? Like something like that, the source of supply can be either the manufacturing plant, either it can be the warehouse supplier, or another inventory organization. So instead of checking each and every location randomly, Oracle follows the sourcing rule to determine the valid supply source, and this ensures that the Oracle are fulfilled according to the organization supply chain strategy. So the types of supply sources is something like that. The first one is make, in which the product is manufactured with the organization. When the customer demand is received, Oracle sends the requirement to manufacturing. The manufacturing plant produces the item and the finished goods are supplied to the customers. And this option is commonly used in the manufacturing industries. Next one is our buy. The organization purchase the item from an external supplier. Instead of manufacturing the product internally, Oracle generates the procurement demand. The procurement team creates the purchase orders, receives the goods, and fulfills the customer order. And this option is generally used for purchase the purchase the materials. Next one is our transfer. The item already exists in the another warehouse or inventory organization. Oracle transfers the inventory internally instead of purchasing or manufacturing it. This is widely used in the organization having multiple warehouses across the different regions. And transfer sourcing helps the balancing the inventory and reduce the procurement cost. And next one is our local sourcing rule. That is, Oracle provides a local sourcing rule in which it is something like that. It is applicable only within a specific organization. It is generally used for transfer orders or internal material request or work order component supply, and the sourcing decision remains limited to that particular organization. So local sourcing is one of the mostly used for in something like that for the internal inventory movement rather than the customer sales order. And next one is our global sourcing rule. This is the second type which is mostly applicable for the uh, entire enterprise, we can say. Like, it allows the Oracle to search multiple organization while fulfillment the customer demand. This type is mostly used for for the sales orders, we can say. For example, like if a warehouse A cannot fulfill the order, automatically checks warehouse B, then warehouse C, or so on, and according to the configured priority. And global sourcing provides the maximum flexibility for the organization operating multiple type of distribution centers. Next one is our priority of supply sources, something like that. Sometimes the multiple warehouse can supply the same product, so Oracle therefore needs to determine which warehouse should be selected first. So each source defined with a sourcing rule is assigned a priority. Oracle always searches the highest priority source first. If an inventory is unavailable there, Oracle automatically evaluates to the next source, and this process continues until the Oracle identifies a location capable of fulfilling the customer demand. So, by using these priorities, organization can control the inventory utilization and transportation costs. Next one is our assignment sales. And what is this assignment set? So a sourcing rule is not alone sufficient. Oracle must know where the rule should be applied, and this accomplished through the assignment sets. An assignment set is nothing but a set of links that sourcing rules to business entities such as like global level, item category, inventory item, organization, item organization combination. And when a sales order is processed, Oracle first identifies the applicable assignment set. The assignment set then directs the Oracle to the correct sourcing rule. And this architecture provides the flexibility because the different products or organization may follow the different sourcing strategies. Next one is our ATP rules. So it stands for available to promise, while sourcing rules answers the question where should the product comes from. The ATP rules help us to also answer this question, like how should the Oracle calculate the availability, and the ATP rule determines which supply and demand elements should be considered while calculating the promised delivery date. Like, different organizations may follow different available policies, and the ATP rules allow the Oracle to support this business requirement. Now we came for the ATP modes. And if, what is the ATP modes? Oracle supports multiple ATP calculation modes, we can say, in which the first one is infinite availability. In this mode, Oracle assumes the unlimited inventory availability. The system does not verify actual stock before confirming the order. Next one is our lead time based promising, in which in this mode Oracle calculates the delivery dates using the predefined lead times instead of checking the real inventory. Oracle estimates the promise date using something like that, the promising the processing time, the manufacturing time, the shipping time, and the transportation time. And this method is useful when the organization follow the predictable production cycles. Next one is our supply chain availability search, in which this is the most advanced ATP mode, and it is commonly used in the Oracle Fusion implement, in which Oracle performs a complete supply chain search before confirming the delivery date. And this system evaluates on-hand inventory, purchase orders, the transfer orders, manufacturing orders, the plant, we can say the plant supply, the inventory reservations, good in transit, and only after evaluating all the available supply sources, the Oracle returns the final promise date, and this mode provides the highest level of delivery accuracy. Next one is supply and demand evaluation, in which ATP rules can also define which supply and demand elements should be participate in the availability calculations. Something like that, the supply elements may include on-hand inventory, the purchase orders, the work orders, transfer orders, or plant supply. And demand elements may include something like that, the existing sales order, the reserved inventory, forecast demand, the transfer demand. And Oracle subtracts each and every demand from the available supply before promising inventory to a particularly new customer, and this prevents overcommitting the inventory. Next one is our profitable to promise, that is PTP. This is the this Oracle selects the warehouse based on the availability and transportation cost. And when the profitable to promise is enabled, Oracle also evaluates the manufacturing cost, the resource cost, the component cost, and the transportation cost. And Oracle then selects the fulfillment source that provides the highest overall profitability while still meeting the customer's delivery requirement. And this feature helps the organization to maximize the profit without compromising the customer commitments. And next one is our allocation rules, that is this purpose is used to reserve the inventory for a specific demand classes. Oracle can allocate the inventory based on the customer type, the region, the sales channel, and the product category and the business priority. Allocation rules becomes active only when the Oracle uses the supply chain availability, different search mode. And these rules ensures that the critical customers continue receiving the inventory during the supply shortages. So, in the previous module, we have learned about sourcing rules and ATP rules, which provides the configuration required by the order the like for the GOP promising engine. And in this final module, we will study the key capabilities provided by the Oracle Global Order Promising, and these capabilities help the organization accuracy, determines the product availability, and optimize the supply chain operations, and provide the reliable delivery commitment to the customer. And each of these features plays an important role in the making this Oracle Fusion Order Management intelligent and more efficient. Now, the first one is here is single and multi-level supply chain ATP, which is what this is the first capability. And Oracle supports the availability checking at different levels of supply chain. Like in the single level ATP, Oracle checks inventory availability within a single inventory organization or warehouse. If the sufficient or inventory exists in that warehouse, Oracle immediately confirms the order. And this approach is suitable for the organizations operating from a single distribution center, or however the large organization usually maintain the Oracle across the multiple warehouse, manufacturing plant, and distribution centers. And in such environments, Oracle use this multi-level supply chain ATP, and instead of limiting the search to one warehouse, Oracle evaluates the complete supply network, something like that. This system measures the distribution warehouse, the manufacturing plant, the regional distribution centers, the internal inventory organizations, the transfer locations. And if the inventory is unavailable at the first location, the Oracle automatically search the next available source according to the configured sourcing priorities. And this multi-level search enables the organization to maximize the inventory utilization while ensuring the accurate delivery commitments. Next one is our global availability view, in which Oracle provides a centralized view of inventory availability across the shipping organization. Something like that, the users can access the information through the ATP inquiry or global ATP window. Instead of checking the inventory organizations, Oracle displays the availability across the complete supply network. And this allows the users to understand which warehouse has the inventory, how much inventory is available, and when the additional inventory will become available, and when the organization can fulfill the customer demand. So this visibility is significantly improves the order planning and customer communications, because the users can quickly identify the best fulfillment resource. Next one is our ATP time fence that controls the point at which the promising switches from the existing on-hand supply to capable promised supply, in which it within the defined time fence, Oracle mainly considers the confirmed that the supply such as on-hand inventory, the reserve inventory, the inventory in transit, and these supplies are already available and therefore provide the high confidence. Next one is our profitable to promise, in which it is also considered as the PTP, that is the traditional order promising, focuses mainly on the inventory availability and the delivery dates. However, the Oracle can also evaluate the profitability while selecting the fulfillment. While selecting the fulfillment source, and when the profitable to promise is enabled, Oracle considers the additional business factors such as manufacturing cost, the component cost, the resource cost, transportation cost. Instead of selecting only the nearest warehouse, Oracle selects the fulfillment source that provides the entire highest overall profitability while still meeting the customer's requested delivery date. And this capabilities help the organization to optimize the operational cost and improve the business profitability without compromising the customer service. And next one is our real-time supply update rules, in which it this supply chain information changes continuously, in which if the new inventory may be received, the purchase order may be completed, the manufacturing orders may be finished production, or the transport orders may arrive at the destination warehouse, in which the Oracle global order promising automatically reflects these supply changes in the real time, and there is no need to restart or manually refresh the promising engine. Whenever the supply information changes, the Oracle immediately updates the availability calculations. As a result, each and every new sales orders order that is used the most that is used the most current inventory and supply information available in the system. And this real-time synchronization significantly improves the accuracy of the delivery promises and reduces the risk of proper inventory overcommitment. Next one is our ATO model sourcing, um, in which we can say that the many organizations manufacture the products only after receiving the customer orders, and instead of maintaining the finished inventory, they assemble the products based on the customer specific requirement. Like Oracle supports the business model through the assemble to order functionality, in which when an ATO sales order is created, the Oracle identifies the warehouse or manufacturing organizations that can assemble the delivery and the configured product more efficiently. The selection considers something like that: the inventory availability, the manufacturing capability, the supply chain configuration, the sourcing rules, and the infinite time frames configuration. So Oracle automatically selects the most appropriate fulfillment organization while ensuring that the configured product can be assembled and delivered within the promised time frame. And this capability is especially useful for industries that manufacture the configurable product based on the customer requirements. So overall business benefits including like that by combining all these capabilities, Oracle Global Order Promising enables the organization to provide the accurate delivery commitments, optimize the inventory or utilization across the multiple warehouse. It reduces the transportation and fulfillment cost. It improves the customer satisfaction through reliable promise dates. It supports the complex global supply chain networks. It makes intelligent fulfillment decision using the real-time supply promises. It increases the overall operational efficiency and profitability. And these capabilities transform the order the Oracle order management from a simple order entirely system into an more intelligent, we can say more intelligent supply chain decision making platforms. So these are the order promising functionality key which we have seen.